Hello, 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 Christmas Flixers. Welcome back to season 4 of Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. I'm KL Brady, and it is that time again. It is the Christmas movie season coming up beginning October 20th. Can you believe we're here already? It seems like the year just zooms by. Um, you know, it has been absolutely crazy in my life, but I will always have time to watch and talk Christmas movies with you guys. And let me tell you, work has been insane. I always say that, but this is really like a different level of insane. Usually I get a little break after a major deal where I can catch my breath, but they've just been back to back to back to back to back. It's just been so much. But the good thing is, I've been able to get a lot of work done in my house because I can actually afford it uh, because I'm working so much. I finished one of my Christmas books this year. I'm so excited to have that done. I've never written a book that makes me cry before, but that one actually kind of makes me cry. I mean, it makes me laugh and do all the other stuff, but it makes me cry. Um, the bad thing is I'm behind on episodes. I had so many episodes planned for over the summer, my best of lists and all that kind of stuff, kind of updating that stuff because there's been so many really great movies that have come out over the past couple of years. I didn't get to do all that, but hopefully I'll get some of that in before the end of the season. I'll be squeezing in extra shows here and there where I can. But as I told you guys before, this show goes on as long as I have one listener, even if that listener's me. But thankfully it's not. But even if it's me, why? Because I need to talk about Christmas movie insanity with people who share the love of the movies like I do. And believe it or not everybody in my life. You would think I would be a magnet to people who love Christmas movies, but it is not so. I can't find those people. Like, I don't know where my peeps are. So, I find you guys here, and I'm really excited to do it. So today, what's today going to be about? So today, we're going to catch up on the news and start diving in to what the Christmas TV season looks like from all the networks. And then I'm going to give you a day one breakdown for October 20th, as I know today, and what I will be watching. Okay, so I am truly excited. If you haven't already, please check out final the season 4 episode 1 Merry Movie Week, which was Christmas in July. It's the last time I did this. You can also check out the season 3 wrap-up show with Brittany at Hallmark Enthusiast 247. We had so much fun talking about Christmas movies, our favorites of last year. It's in 2 parts. And it was so funny. Like, I forgot to publish like one part of it. Like, I published part 1, but forgot to publish part 2. Literally was sitting in my queue. I opened it up. I was like, I haven't hit submit. It was unreal. So there are 2 parts to the wrap-up show. But I hope you've been following Brittany's feed on Twitter and on Instagram, because girlfriend stays up to the minute with all the Christmas movies and stuff. So if you haven't checked out her stuff, Hallmark Enthusiast 247, you can find her on Twitter, and you can find her, or X, I'm sorry, it's X now. You can find her on X, formerly known as Twitter, and you can find her on Instagram. Anyway, first things first. St. Nick shout outs, you know how I start. You know how we roll on Chicks on Christmas Flicks. Always begin the show with shout outs to listeners. I mean, that is my tradition. And the reason is because I honestly am so thankful for everybody who listens to the show. Even when I am not like regularly producing shows, you guys are listening to the show. 4 seasons in. I just can't believe it. So I am thankful, truly. I'm so thankful to anyone and everyone who squeezes this podcast into their busy schedules or makes time for the show outside of their busy schedules, right? So today we're going to do the shorter version of St. Nick shoutouts, just because I have so much content to talk about, so much news to talk about today, so much content. And I'll begin with the longer versions of the St. Nick shoutouts, when the season begins in October 20th. But time flies. Can you believe it's already October? Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun, and apparently when you're working too hard. Anyway, I'm going to give some big love right now, okay, to the top 5 locations of all time, right? And the top 5 listener locations over the course of the summer when I was not producing shows, but they knew I'd be back, and I'm so appreciative. They knew I'd be back, so they listened anyway. So, with that said, let's get started. Remember, I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. Okay, so the top 5 of all time locations are Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, Kingston, Jamaica, Boardman, Oregon, Los Angeles, California, and New York, New York. Who would have thought? New York was so low when I first started. I would just get a listener every now and then it ends up being one of my top locations. So that's kind of exciting. And then the top listeners over the summer include Frankfurt and Main, Hesse. That is in Germany. Frankfurt, Germany. New York, New York. Dallas, Texas. Ashburn, Virginia. These are my local peeps. Ashburn, Virginia is not too far from where I live. And last but not least, Phoenix, Arizona. So thank you all, everyone, and I mean everyone, for, listening to the show. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. Okay. Now we got to get to the ho holiday headlines. I don't want to keep you guys here all day. I could do it. I could drag on and talk all day, but I do want to get through this. So now it's time for the ho holiday headlines. So I have been, daily, I will go on to X, formerly known as Twitter, and try my best to keep up with the news. There's a few news sources I have, but ho holiday viewing, she kind of throttled back a little bit but she was gonna quit altogether, I think, and then she started posting, and maybe she got it's just, this is a thing, if you really love Christmas movies, it's hard to stop following and tracking this stuff. So she started publishing more stuff, more content, but not back at her regular pace, but certainly more content. But so I usually follow her and try to keep up with the news that way, but that hasn't been happening over the summer. So I've really been depending on my Google alerts, right? My Google alerts, which I set up when I first started the show, and I probably need to update them because there's so many more players in the Christmas movie game. But I set up my Google alerts and I get my news. And so I really want to get into news. I know some of this is late for you guys, right? You've probably been on top of it, but I've not covered it on the show, and so I am going to cover it today. So for the first headline today, we got to talk about this. Wonya Lucas stepping down at Hallmark. So first, can I say this? Hallmark is going to have 40 movies this year. 40-ish, right? I saw one article that said 42. I saw another one that said 40, right? Somewhere between 40 and 42. One of those is probably right. Maybe it's the 41 that is right. But regardless, on a year when there's a strike, you still have a full slate of movies, and there is so many more that have dropped out this year. So many more networks and streamers that have dropped out or that are not doing movies this year, and yet and still Hallmark manages to pull together 40 movies. That's incredible. That's incredible leadership. From the time that she took over in Hallmark to today, there have been so many noticeable shifts in Hallmark's content to make people feel more included and more seen of themselves in the movie content. So, and I mean not just people of color. People from all walks of life are represented and reflected in the movie's content, and that is a noticeable difference. I mean, obviously there's progress, right? Still progress to be made, a lot of progress to be made, but boy, did they make a lot of progress under her leadership. So I want to say that for one, I'm grateful that she was. I'm sad that she's gone, but I'm grateful that she was, and I just hope, Hallmark stays on the current trajectory and we don't backslide. We don't want to backslide, right? We want to keep on the same. Stay strong, Hallmark. Everybody's not doing what you're doing. It is tough being the first one through the wall, It's bloody going through the wall when you're on the leading edge of it, right? Because it's all bricks and mess and stuff. But it's all for good. That's something I have even learned myself in my role in my company. I'm one of the very few Black people in my company in roles like mine, and it is painful sometimes, but sometimes it hurts to be the first one through the wall. But once you're through the wall, you've made a space for other people to come through and do the same things that you've done. And so I believe that Hallmark is really leading the charge in that, and part of that is because of Wonya's leadership. So wonderful job that she did there. Mike Perry, you got some big shoes to fill. He is the upcoming CEO. I think maybe he's taking the reins now. But anyway, so I wanted to talk a little bit about her quotes. One thing I was afraid of, right? I was afraid that, as often happens with people of color, women, especially women, not just women of color, but women in general, is that, we get called in to be the SWAT team, fix everything. And then as soon as everything's fixed, they hand it back to a male leader. It happens all the time, women. You know what I'm talking about. Happens all the time. It's like you're coming as the cleanup woman. So I really didn't want them to be treating her as the cleanup woman, which, that was my first thought, but it is not what happened. Let me just say, at least based on the things I've read. So one of the reasons why she stepped down was because which is going on in my company, so I can truly attest to this, is that they have everybody got to work from home and remotely during the pandemic, but now they want to bring everybody back into the office. It is not just Hallmark, it is everywhere. I work in the IT industry, and it is my job too. They're trying to bring a whole lot of people back to work. There are some of us, myself included, who are going to be remote forever, like wherever I go. And I've earned that it's not really a luxury for me, right? It's just a commute issue. It's a long commute. It's like 2 hours commute for me each way. If I go in. And so do you want me to put that time into work, or do you want me to put that time on the road? So my company rightly thinks I should put that time into work, and so I get to stay home. But for her, she was living in Atlanta, and they wanted leadership to be in the office in Hollywood. Well, for her to be there every day, she would have had to move. And she has ties and home and family in Atlanta and didn't want to leave her family. So she's taken a role on the Hallmark Media Board of Directors. And Mike Perry, who is local, I'm sure, has taken over the reins. And I can totally understand that. But still sad to see her go. So her quote, one of her quotes from her leaving was, "I am honored to have led this company and tremendously proud of the progress we've made by creating an evolved entertainment experience that inspires meaningful, emotionally connected moments for our audience," said Lucas. "My passion for the Hallmark brand," she really did have passion for the brand Hallmark, has grown in deeply rewarding ways and will remain paramount as I continue to help guide Hallmark Media's future in a more strategically focused capacity. So when I heard that quote, right, I was like, they, kind of squeezed her out. No, not really. I mean, it was about wanting to be prioritizing her family, over work, and I can completely understand that. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see where Hallmark goes from here. I'm hopeful, and she's put a lot of stuff in place that I don't think are going to go away. I think they're going to evolve from that. Anyway, so to the 40 Christmas movie issue, though, the fact that under great leadership, that's how that happens, right? You prioritize Christmas movies. Christmas movies is not just a fad for Hallmark, right? It is not just a fad. It is Hallmark. Like when you think of Christmas, you're going to think of Hallmark. So I'm really excited that they have the full slate of movies this year. So Executive Vice President Lisa Daly said to that, "Christmas is a year-round business at Hallmark, so we were able to mitigate early in the year, understanding that the strikes were unfortunately imminent. We're grateful to meet all of our goals for a full, all-new holiday slate and to bring our viewers the content they love most to celebrate the season. And I, for one, am thankful. Thank you, Hallmark, for still bringing it, for still bringing the content for this season." So I am truly thankful. I had to lead off with that because that was huge news for me. And I track the news for Lifetime's leadership and everybody's leadership, but Wonya's leadership, that was pretty major, especially given the fact that even as she prepared to exit, 40 movies we got. 40. That's incredible. Okay. So that's it for that. For the next piece of news I wanted to talk about today is Enchant. So it's a Hallmark branded thing. Last year I went to Enchant. If you go on Chicks on Christmas Flicks on X, formerly known as Twitter, and you look up that, you will see all the pictures that I took at Enchant. And I was so sad when they first announced it. They had 5 locations and one was not DC. And I was like, oh no, they're not going to have it again? And guess what? Like a few weeks later, they announced they're going to have Enchant back at DC. So let me just tell you, if you love twinkly lights, if you love twinkly light displays, you cannot miss. You have to find a way to go to Enchant. It is just phenomenal. It was such a phenomenal experience all the way down. From parking, which wasn't bad, to, getting into the stadium because it's held at the Nationals Park, which isn't bad. But when you get down in the venue, it is just unreal. And they have like this maze that you can go through, and you can collect keys, I think it was. You can collect keys to show you've been at the exhibits. And so doing that whole game, can you collect all the keys game, really helps you maneuver through the exhibits, right? It's just fantastic. It's just beautiful. And every corner, everywhere you turn, there's just like displays, things are just beautiful. I don't know how else to describe it except go on to Twitter, X formerly known as Twitter, hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks, and you will see all the pictures that I took there. And it's so much better in person. So I asked my son this year, I was like, do you want to go back to a chair? He was like, yeah. Now my son is almost 23. He'll be 23 in a couple of weeks. So for a 23-year-old to say, yeah, I want to go back to Enchant, you got to know it's kind of a big deal. So I'm really excited that he and I will be going back in December. But anyway, so if you are close to an Enchant venue, please go. Please do not hesitate to go. You will love it. I didn't really have the VIP experience. I bought VIP tickets. There was no VIP experience. There was no VIP gate. Now maybe they'll change that for this year. I took a chance and bought VIP again because I hate waiting in line. Like if I can, get through a line faster, I'm always gonna, pay a little extra. But last year there was no VIP experience at all. Nowhere to sit, no gate that was open, no nothing. So I hope they change that, and maybe they will have it in other venues. But in Washington they didn't. But aside from that, just buy the regular ticket, go on in, and just enjoy yourself and have a ball with all of the. They have treats galore. I bought a snow globe, my first snow globe ever. Like I bought from there, which I love. I think there's a picture of it on Twitter too. So the locations for the Enchant event include Nationals Park, Kansas City, Kansas, Las Vegas, Nevada, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, San Jose, California, Scottsdale, Arizona, and St. Petersburg, Florida. And I think I have listeners in like all of those locations. So guys, if you are listening, go to Enchant. You will not regret it. And please let me know how you enjoyed it, because I would love to hear. Okay, so my next piece of news is Kevin McGarry. So Hallmark star news, right? So Kevin McGarry, I did not know Kevin McGarry was a model before he was an actor. And guess what, guys? He covered Harlequin romances. This is really funny, given the book that I just wrote for Christmas. But he covered, and I got to see some of the pictures. So if you look at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks, you will see a post. I will post. I haven't posted yet, but I will post a tweet with his book covers, with him on the book covers. And I looked at the book covers. I was like, no way was Kevin McGarry a book cover model. That's insane to me, but it's true. So anyway, he was on the cover of 3 books. 3 books. Can you believe that? I couldn't believe that. That was really news to me. So look, I made it news because I was like, Kevin McGarry on. I mean, I can see it. Obviously, he is just adorable, right? But I just never pictured him on the cover of books. That he's actually on the cover of books. That's crazy. So my next piece of news is about Alicia Witt, right? So, I love Alicia, and she has done so many Christmas movies for Hallmark, right? She's one of my Hallmark favorites, and I was like, where has she been? I mean, I know she's done the Hallmark movies and mysteries, Christmas, Christmas Tree Lane and something else, right? But still, she's kind of not been like around like I'm used to seeing her. Well, guess what? She had cancer. And not only did she have cancer, and then she lost both of her parents in their home. Now, I remember the news about her parents passing away, which I thought was just, to lose both of your parents at the same time like that was just unbearable. Like, the thought is unbearable to me. But then to be going through all that and realize that she had cancer as well was crazy. Like, I was like, wow, I can't believe this. So that was astounding to me. And I'm so sorry for Alicia Witt, but if you wonder where she is, she's been dealing with that. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm so sorry for her, but I certainly wish her health in the years going forward, and I hope she can get back to doing Hallmark movies regularly. Anyway, next story. Real life Hallmark couple Alvina August and Marco Grazzini recently welcomed their first baby together. First of all, I think I did this on a previous show where I was like, I didn't even know they were a couple, right? And then I saw her pregnancy picture. She had a baby bump picture on Instagram or Twitter, one of the two, and so I knew that, and then now they've had a little baby girl. How wonderful is that? So I am so excited. So we'll probably not see either one of those in Christmas movies this year. At least not Alvina. Maybe Marco, but that's awesome. So congratulations to Alvina August and Marco Grazzini. I am so excited. Having the babies, that there's just nothing better, I don't think, than having babies. So I love my baby, my son. Glad he's 23, but glad to have had him. All right, in the next piece of news, I told you I had a lot of news today. So in the next piece of news, guess what Hallmark is doing this year? Hallmark is showing an extended version of Three Wise Men and a Baby. Can you believe that? So apparently, it was much longer when they filmed it, and they cut it down to get it into the movie. Well, all that uncut, that cut stuff, they are going to show uncut in an extended version on November 27th. Will you guys be checking that out? I know I'm going to be checking that out because that was one of my favorite movies last year. Loved it so much. So, and I will be tweeting about that as we get up closer to the time. November 27th, an extended Three Wise Men and a Baby. I'm excited about that. All right. So, no Christmas news catch up would be complete without me hitting Peanuts. You guys, I don't know if you know how much I love Peanuts, but I love Peanuts. Oh my goodness, I never miss it. It doesn't matter. From the time I was little to now, and that's a whole lot of years. I'm not going to tell you how many, but it's a lot of years. I have never missed the It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, or Charlie Brown Christmas. Never. So, with that said, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, will stream for free Saturday, October 21st to Sunday, October 22nd. So that gets right into the beginning of our countdown to Christmas weekend. But you're going to have to take a half an hour out of your day, and you're going to have to watch Charlie Brown if you're a fan like me. Even my Apple Watch, guys, I got to tell you, the Apple Watch update 10, if you don't have it, they have this whole animated Snoopy on the watch. I couldn't get it fast enough. I got the beta version. Now they have released the regular version, but I got the beta version because I had to have that. I saw it on the Apple. You know how the Apple does their presentation every so often to introduce new products. So I saw it when they did it, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to have that watch face. So I've got this Snoopy watch face now. Every time I look at it, Snoopy does some new animated thing. And it's wonderful. It's like my favorite thing in the whole world right now. So that was so well worth it. Love your Apple Watch. Thank you for the Snoopy animation. Okay. Then, the 50th anniversary of A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving streams for free Saturday, November 18th to Sunday, November 19th, celebrating 50 years of this peanut classic. 50 years, can you imagine that? So, if you can imagine that. So, I probably told it myself, right? Because I have not missed it. I have not missed it. I have watched it every year. So, anyway, that is it. So, they don't have the announcement for Charlie Brown Christmas, but you know, when that comes up, I will announce it. Plus, I think I have Apple. I don't know if you guys have the Apple app, but if you have like Apple TV, the app, you know, they have like the Snoopy show there, and you can watch Charlie Brown anytime you want to. But if you want to do this kind of group thing, well, I feel like, you know, at least all the Generation Xers are going to be sitting in front of the TV watching Charlie Brown at the same time, then there you have it. Okay. And then the next piece of news is Christmas trees. I had to talk about this, you know, but for the last few years, because we've had such a shortage and we've had issues, that the prices of Christmas trees has gone, like fresh Christmas trees has gone crazy. But this year, apparently, the Real Christmas Tree Association Board said there might be a slight increase in Christmas tree prices, but it'll be fairly minuscule. So that is wonderful news, guys. Get your trees early or get your trees late, because the price is not going up. It's not going up much, right? So it's not like it's not like there's going to be a shortage like there has been. You got to hurry up and get your tree before they run out. And then you end up with a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. So get your trees. All right. And then the last piece of news for today is the station has been doing this every year, at least since I've been doing this podcast. In Birmingham, in the UK, the Birmingham, UK station is airing Christmas movies 24/7 through Christmas. Can you imagine that? A 24/7 Christmas movie channel. I am so jealous. Anybody in the UK right now, just know I am jealous of you that you get to have this, because if I had that, like, my TV would be on that channel and would never move from that channel until after Christmas, honestly. Well, that's pretty much happens with Hallmark. I mean, when Countdown to Christmas begins and then all the other streamers kick in, like, you can hardly find a non-Christmas movie or non-Christmas themed anything on my TVs until after Christmas. So that's just the way it is. Love the season, love the movies. I'm so excited for you guys. All right, let's get into the season. Okay, so first thing I want to do, I want to announce a new feature that I'm going to have beginning October 20th. A new feature in the show, and I'm going to say this because I have resisted doing this for the 4 seasons prior to this, but I feel like it's kind of a worthy cause that I should do something like this. So for my new feature in the show, for the weeks during Christmas movie season, I am going to have the weekly Christmas turkey. And that is going to be my least favorite movie of the week, my Christmas turkey of the week. So the turkey of the week is coming when we get there. And so here's the reason why I'm doing that, because I am so, like, I only say good things about the movies that I like. And so there are movies that maybe other people have the similar taste that I do, that you don't want to invest your time into those movies. So I feel like I really do need to at least, I'm working my way up, right? So I see so many other shows are like so honest about the movies they see and whether they like them or dislike them and stuff. I'm honest 100%. I just avoid talking about the movies that I don't like. But I think this year it's going to be worth it for me to save you some time on the turkeys that you don't want to invest your time in, and you'd rather spend that time, shopping or, you know, cleaning your hand irons or whatever. But anyway, so the turkey of the week is going to begin the week of October, and that is going to be my least favorite movie of the week, and I will tell you why it is my least favorite. Now, when I say least favorite, does that mean it's bad? Not necessarily. It just means it is my least favorite. So I will caveat it with that. So with that said, let's get into what's happening this season with the networks. Okay? And then after the break, I am going to get into Countdown to Christmas Day 1. What is showing and what I am really going to be excited to watch. Okay? All right. So, first thing, full feature Christmas movies coming out. I'm really excited about this one. Meg Ryan. I haven't seen her in like forever. Somebody was just asking, like, what happened to Meg Ryan? Like, where is she? And then somebody else made a smart comment. Well, you wouldn't recognize her if you have blah, blah, blah. I can't stand people say things like that. Fine. She's had some work done. Fine. But, Meg is Meg. She's still a wonderful actress. So Meg Ryan makes her rom-com return in What Happens Later. And she stars with David Duchovny. I love both of them separately. I think this will be the first thing I've seen like a full feature with them together, but they star as two exes who end up stuck in an airport together when their flights are delayed. Not exactly Christmassy, not explicitly Christmassy, but they're stuck in the airport because the snowstorm, it's winter, whatever. So you can kind of put those two together. Great American Family, the next piece of news. I think they have like 19 or 20 movies in their lineup with a lot of former Hallmark favorites, including like Danica McKellar and David Aiden Jones. I think he's kind of a new pickup, right? He was on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries last year. Of course, Candace Cameron Bure. So, the typical thing. They're going to start their season alongside, in parallel with Hallmark on October 20th. And, you guys know what I'll be watching. I mean, it's going to be really hard for me to turn from Hallmark for anything. And Hallmark has such a great slate coming up. Like, literally, I don't think it's going to be difficult to, like, choose other movies over the Hallmark movies because they just look so good. All right. Disney Plus is coming out with a couple of movies. Now, these aren't romantic-y, so to speak, but they are definitely worth talking about. Ludacris, the rapper Ludacris, is starring in a movie called Dashing Through the Snow. I'm really kind of excited to see this one. He's a single father, Eddie, who comes across a man dressed as Santa Claus, perhaps the real Santa Claus. You know how they do that in movies, right? With his daughter. Together, they set off on a Christmas adventure that could change Eddie's negative feelings toward the holiday. So I'm really excited about that one. I definitely am going to see it. And then they have a movie called The Naughty Nine. It's a heist comedy, but it's like all kids, except Danny Glover is in this one, and he plays Santa Claus. And the movie centers on a ragtag group from Santa's naughty list who don't receive Christmas gifts one year. In an act of revenge, Andy uh, played by Winslow Fagley, pulls together a gang of ragtag naughty kids to get the presents they feel they deserve. So I'm kind of excited, but that sounds like it's going to be fun. And then a piece of like upcoming news. Do you guys remember Home Alone? Right? Well, apparently they are looking at doing a current version of Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin. Can you believe that? So apparently, I don't know, it's in talks, maybe not being filmed, but in talks. And Macaulay Culkin would return as the CEO and owner of a security business. Rumors. But if it's true, I'm in. I am so in. Okay. Amazon Prime next. Guys, let me tell you something. I'm really excited about this one because I announced it last year. Candy Cane Lane with Eddie Murphy, right? I've been looking forward to this. He signed up for it last year, but I was expecting it to come out in the slate. It did not, but it will be out this year on December 1st. Candy Cane Lane. So Eddie Murphy stars as a man who makes a deal with an elf to help him win his neighborhood's house decorating contest. Unfortunately, the elf also brings to life the 12 days of Christmas, which causes problems for the whole town. Sounds like it's overtaken by a lot of birds. This is on the piece that they write. Sounds like it's taken over by a lot of birds, if the lyrics to the holiday classic are anything to go by. The movie includes Tracy Ellis Ross from Blackish. You guys know her. Ken Marino and Nick Offerman. And I want to say Reginald Hudlin is the director who directed his film Boomerang, which was one of my romantic comedy favorites. If you haven't seen Boomerang, watch it. It's like one of my favorite romantic comedy movies. Love it. Eddie Murphy played alongside like Halle Berry and just like a host of people. I want to say Martin Lawrence is in that movie. It's crazy funny, and it was really kind of one of those like leading edge movies at the time, because you just didn't see Black people in those romantic comedy roles like that. So if you have a chance to go see it on cable, I know it's on cable. I saw it the other day. I passed it the other day. Check out Boomerang. But anyway, and also check out Candy Cane Lane on December 1st. All right, then in addition to Candy Cane Lane, we have Red One. Okay, not a whole lot is known about the plot yet, but guess who's going to be in this movie? Red One is going to star Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, Kiernan Shipka, and more. So I am so excited about that. It's supposed to be on Amazon Prime Video at some point. We don't know when it's going to show up. I am going to stay on top of that one because that's another one I want to see. But I'm excited about that one. And then there's another movie, and I think this is available right now. It is Grumpy Old Santa, which is available to stream on Amazon Prime. It stars Glenn Morshower as a man who falls in love with his best friend's sister after 30 years of marriage falls apart. The backdrop of the story is an annual bowling tournament, right? And Kevin Farley, the brother of Chris Farley, and Gary Valentine provide the film's comic relief. So I'm kind of excited about that one. That one is on now. So I may catch that sometime this week. And the next time I have a show, tell you guys about how much I like it. Or it may be my turkey of the week. And then they continue on by talking about the 12 movies of Christmas and how they have so many Christmas. Let me tell you, Amazon Prime's got a lot of Christmas movies, but a lot of the like classic ones like Home Alone, It's a Wonderful Life, Elf, and One of my favorites is the Polar Express. My son and I sit down every year. We watch the Polar Express. Kind of kicks off our Christmas season. We put up the tree. We watch Polar Express. We have hot chocolate with marshmallows. Honest to goodness, it's like a total Hallmark moment that we have together. But we watch the Polar Express. That is our kickoff. Ever since the Polar Express came out, that's how we kick off our true holiday season. So I'm really excited about that. But all those movies are streaming on Amazon Prime. So if you like the classics, there you go. All right. And the next one I want to talk about is BET and BET Plus. 12 new Christmas movies for the season. All-star lineup. It truly is an all-star lineup. It's insane. 12 movies. 12. Did you hear that? 12. So, I mean, for BET, that's a lot, right? So, and I'm really glad to see them, like, at a time when other streamers are kind of backing off of it. Like, for BET, this is going to be a thing, right? And they're just staying in the game, and the movies are getting better and better every year. So, BET Pluses, they have from musical dramas and romantic comedies to action-packed thrillers, Christmas thriller, and the always hilarious Miss Pat. There's something for everyone on your BET Plus list. The talent includes Tammy Roman, Tashina Arnold, Vivica A. Fox, Sky Black, Jasmine Guy, if you guys remember her from A Different World, Terrence Carson, if you remember him. I think that's the guy from Living Single, right? Dorian Wilson, triple threats like Soraya, Romeo Miller, Macy Gray. I love Macy Gray. I don't know about you, but I love her. MC Light, one of my favorite female rappers, and Tamara Braxton. So there is going to be a lot of good stuff. There's a complete roster of writers and directors of color, including Robin Givens, the diva, one of the I think she was in a diva movie last year, a diva Christmas movie last year. Debbie Allen, who I love. I know if there's no musical and dancing involved, Miss Debbie is involved. And Terry J. Vaughn, who has actually done some work for Hallmark. And I want to say that movie, what is it called? Incredibly Good Things or something like that. I want to say she directed that. So I'm really excited to get BET Plus. I'll probably keep it once I get it and watch all these features. I know my friend Tiffany Warren has a movie coming out called A Favorite Son Christmas. So I know she wrote the book A Favorite Son, but now Favorite Son Christmas is coming out on BET Plus. So I'm really excited to see that, to support her. So please check out the BET Plus slate if you can. All right. Now to Netflix. Guys, Netflix was on the swing up for the longest time, and now they're swinging back. Now they're like ramping down on their Christmas movies, but they've got 2 coming out this year that I am interested in. I mean, they've got a ton more that are available to watch, but I think 2 new features at least for this year. One, I cannot wait to see this. Brandy Norwood, who I love. Brandy, Brandy, the singer Brandy, and Heather Graham. Love her. Like, I watched all of her romantic comedies. Like, she made a lot of so she went from modeling to doing romantic comedies, and I watched all of her romantic comedies in the 90s. It's mostly when they were made, like 90s, maybe early 2000s. But if she made it and I saw her name in it, I watched it, and I watched it probably 100 times in a row. So she's like one of my favorite romantic comedy actresses. So glad to see her back, like in a role like this. So the movie is called Netflix's Best Christmas Ever, and it's about two college friends, Jackie and Charlotte, who unintentionally end up spending Christmas together. Charlotte has long been jealous of Jackie's Christmas newsletters, which make her life sound perfect. So she sets out to prove that everything can't really be so great for her old friend. So we're coming in. She's coming in hating, right? Why? Why do you feel like you need to prove something? It's not so perfect. But jealousy, that'll do it every time. So I'm excited to see that one. Just there's tension, there's conflict in the description, so that and they're both great actresses. So I know that's going to be fun. And then Meet Me Next Christmas on Netflix with Christine and Milian. I don't know. They don't have a date. So hopefully it comes out this year. But the movie is about a woman who is both trying to find love with her dream man and scores tickets to a sold-out Pentatonix concert. Romance in a cappella, maybe? Who knows? So anyway, I'm excited about those two movies. I know. So Best Christmas Ever with Brady and Heather comes out on November 16th. So it is definitely going to be out. Meet Me Next Christmas. I don't know if it's going to be out this year, but I will stay on top of that and let you know if I hear anything. All right. So then we come down to Lifetime. Now, normally Lifetime talks about their full slate of movies, and I have yet to see a full slate of movies from them, although I have seen a few movies from them. So what it looks like, they're not doing a whole lot of Lifetime originals this year, but they are picking up a bunch of Reel One, REEL One entertainment movies to fill their slate. So that's going to be interesting. But one of the movies is going to star William DeVry and Terry Hatcher. You remember Terry Hatcher was in the Hallmark movie, I think it was last year or the year before last. It's like one of my favorites, her and James Denton. So I was really excited about that. So she's back with Lifetime this year doing a movie. And then they have another one that has been hyped up, which is Lonnie Anderson, like the 80s soap divas, right? Lonnie Anderson, Morgan Fairchild, Linda Gray, Donna Mills, and Nicolette Sheridan. Ladies of the 80s Christmas movie. And it's about 80s actresses reuniting for a soap opera Christmas special. And I have no doubt there's going to be high drama at this reuniting. So I'm really, that one looks like it's going to be funny and good and funny. So I'm excited about that one. But apart from that, I really don't have a lot from Lifetime, but I'm hoping that they publish their full slate. We have not gotten the full list of Christmas movies yet. I expect that to come out within the next week, this week or next week before Countdown to Christmas kicks off. So, hopefully we'll see it then. The next network is Up TV. It kicks off November 3rd at 7 p.m. So we're a couple of weeks away from Up TV. Up TV will be bringing 8 new Christmas movies to uplift audiences this holiday season, right? The movies will include, so listen, Melissa Peterman. Now, if you know Barbara Jean from Reba, then you know Melissa Peterman. She, who was in, I want to say, Haul Out the Holly last year. Now she's going to be on Up TV this year in a movie. So I'm really kind of excited to see her about that. Chesapeake Shores, Jessica Sibos. She's going to be on there with wrestler Chris Jericho. There's just going to be a lot of really good people on there. So, but 8 movies, and I want to say that's down a little bit from their slate over the past few years, which has been a little higher than that, but that's okay. But they have 8 new movies coming out, so I'm excited to see that. And then they're gonna have their Gilmore the Merrier. I'm sure they're gonna have their Gilmore the Merrier um, marathon, and then of course they're gonna show their movies. They haven't been showing like their 24/7 movies anymore, but every weekend, and then Friday, and then the weekends they show their holiday programming. So I'm excited to see the new movies that they have coming out. I will definitely want to see Melissa Peterman in a movie, because that's my girl. I love me some Barbara Jean from Reba. So I'm excited to see their slate as well. Now, Hallmark, right? Hallmark is going to have at least 40 movies. One report has 42. I have to count and see if that's actually the right count, but I haven't done that yet. I'm up like at the crack of dawn doing this show. But so we'll see if it's 40. But anyway, 40 movies, even still, between Hallmark and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. A huge slate of movies. It includes, some of our favorite actors and actresses from our every year that we love, including Brendan Penny, Nikki DeLoach, Lacey Chabert, Wes Brown, Christopher Palaha, and Bethany Joy Lenz. I can't wait for that one, The Biltmore Christmas. Barbara Niven, Brennan Elliott, Jessie Schramm is one of my favorites. She'll be back. Tyler Hines, Paul Campbell, Andrew Walker, Luke McFarlane, who just did the Fall movie with Ashley Williams. It's coming back for Christmas. I mean, you gotta love that, right? Aaron Cahill, Brooke D'Orsay, and Kimberly Susted. So we know she's not coming back in the Nine Lives movie. Which is kind of sad, because I really love her in the Nine Lives movies, but that's okay, because she's done so many other movies also, like Christmas by Starlight, and just so many other Christmas movies. Godwink, the Godwink movie. So, I'm excited to see whatever she's in. Doesn't matter. I love her no matter what. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break, but I will be back with the lineup for October 20th for Hallmark and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. So stay tuned and don't go away. I'll be right back.
Now available for pre-order on ebook and in paperback beginning November 1st, the romantic comedy with heart, soul, and a second act, The Nick Before Christmas. Are you looking for the perfect romantic comedy to help you find your calling and renew your faith in Christmas magic this holiday season? Look no further than The Nick Before Christmas, a heartwarming story about one woman's journey to her second act and back to her first love. Nikki Wright is ready to celebrate the big 5-0 for Christmas in July, but a hot flash leads her to a sobering realization. Her life has hit rock bottom. Her successes, the home and the car, feel empty. Her vision board has been a waste of time, her job is unfulfilling, and she's mulling over a proposal from Smith, who she's certain she doesn't like. The best day of her life spirals into the worst. During a near-death experience, a meeting with her guardian angel presents Nikki with an ultimatum. Either go to heaven or return to Earth and find her second act by Christmas Eve. If she doesn't succeed, her future's bleak. Her life will be filled with days no better than the worst. With only a few months to make her dreams come true, can Nikki achieve her second act and rekindle an old flame with Jordan to have the Christmas of her dreams? The Nick Before Christmas delivers unforgettable moments of self-discovery and romance. It's an enchanting story of love, hope, and faith that will fill your heart with joy this Christmas season.
And now we're back. In the previous segment, I gave you the network by network highlights for the TV Christmas movie season. Now we're going to get into the must-watch movies for day one of Countdown to Christmas on October 20th for both Hallmark and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. I am so excited! So they have a really good slate scheduled for October 20th. So they're going to kick off the morning at 6 a.m. 6 a.m., guys. Okay, so you got your choice between Christmas at Castle Hart with Lacey Chabert, of course, and The Christmas Note, the old school movie. 6 a.m., I'm going with The Christmas Note because I know Christmas at Castle Hart is going to be like, and I'm so ready for some old school movies. That's one of the shows I'm going to do. I'm going to do a show of where Hallmark should have a classic weekend, and I'm going to talk about all the movies they should show during the classic Christmas movie weekend. All right. Not that that's ever going to happen, but I'm going to put it out into the universe, and then hopefully somebody will pick up on it. All right. So that's 6 a.m. The Christmas Note for me at 6 a.m. What do you guys going to pick? At 8 a.m., the choice is between Bramble House Christmas, right, with Autumn Risa and David Hayden Jones, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas with Marisol Nichol and Christopher Palaha. I am going with We Wish You a Merry Christmas because, it would be a miracle for me to pick very many people over Christopher Palaha. Simple as that. And Marisol Nichols just on for the ride. She's along for the ride for that one. That's just how it goes. All right, at 10 a.m., we have A Cozy Christmas Inn and A Godwink Christmas, Second Chance, First Love. I am going with A Cozy Christmas Inn. I love that one because, that was the part two to the movie with Candace Cameron Bure. You guys know the whole story behind that. So I'm excited to see that one again. Cozy Christmas Inn. It was funny. I think last year, it's my first time, maybe over the summer actually. It was my first time actually watching it all the way through, but I fell in love with it after I watched it. So yes, I will be watching that. At noon, we have a choice between It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries and When I Think of Christmas on Hallmark, and I am going to select the classic. It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas because I just want to see my classic movies. I'm just in the mood for some really, to watch all my classics, right? But of course, you've got to mix it up. So I'll mix it up. But yeah, I want to see my classics. Okay. So that's at noon. At 2 p.m., A Christmas to Remember and My Grown-Up Christmas List. So Christmas to Remember with Cameron Matheson and Mira Sorvino. That's a classic. As a matter of fact, it was on just like last week, I think, or something like that, right? And I fell asleep on it, though. I was exhausted. It was a long day. And My Grown-Up Christmas List with Kevin McGarry and Kayla Wallace, who is the Hallmark couple and a beautiful couple at that. However, I will be watching the Christmas classic, A Christmas to Remember, because I have a little beef with that movie. If you guys listen to, I think, episode 1 or 2 of this season, you will find out what beef I have with My Grown-Up Christmas List and why I am not going to watch it on October 20th. Okay, not that anybody cares, but if you care, you can go back and listen to my reason for that. All right, at 4 p.m., we have Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas. That's the one with Megan Park, right? That's the first one. And Crowned for Christmas with Danica McKellar. And I am going with Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas because I love Megan Park so much. All right. That's on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries at 4 p.m. on Hallmark is Crowned for Christmas. At 6, we have Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, Christmas on My Mind with Andrew Walker. And on Hallmark, we have Three Wise Men and a Baby. Which one do you think I'm going to take? That's at 6 p.m. on October 20th. Three Wise Men and Baby has my vote, right? So I will be flipping from Hallmark Movies and Mysteries to Three Wise Men and a Baby. Okay. At 8 p.m., we have Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas, the one with Tyler Hines, and Checking It Twice with Kim Matula and Kevin McGarry. I cannot say how much I am anticipating this movie and how I'm anticipating this to be one of my favorites. You know, the last few years, I want to say Hallmark has come out of the box swinging so hard, and like normally they start off with kind of the weaker movies and then like the stronger ones toward Christmas, but I want to say for, you know, since the pandemic, maybe 2020 and forward, the first movie of the year has ended up being one of my favorites of the year, if not my absolute favorite of the year. And so I am looking forward to this one because Kim Matula is one of my favorites now after the Ghost of Christmas Always. She is absolutely one of my favorites now. And then Kevin McGarry. I mean, do I need to say anymore, right? So he's always going to be a favorite. So Checking It Twice, I cannot wait to see. I predict it's going to be one of my favorites of the year, if not my favorite, but one of my favorites of the year because of how well Hallmark has been doing with their first movies of the year. So if you don't watch any other movie, make sure you watch Checking It Twice with Kim Matula and Kevin McGarry. At 10 is Glenbook, Christmas, and Noel Next Door. I am going with Noel Next Door. And at midnight is 5-Star Christmas on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. Did you hear that? It's normally Hallmark movies, but it's on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries at midnight. And Christmas Made to Order is on Hallmark Channel. And guess what I'll be watching? 5-Star Christmas, because one, it is hilarious. 2, it's got Bethany Joy Lynn, my best friend in my head. So that is day 1 of Countdown to Christmas. I'm so excited. Saturday, I will be celebrating my dad's and my son's birthdays. So it's going to be a huge day for Christmas movies. One I will not, unfortunately, be able to enjoy as much as I hope. I'll maybe be able to squeeze a movie in here and there, but it's going to be a long day because I'm having a cookout and I'm having family over and stuff and having cake and stuff for my. So it'll be that one day that I invest in both of them. And then after that, I'm going to sit on my patootie and rest as much as possible. But I've been doing so much to get the house ready for all those guests. So anyway. So many movies coming up, but what I wanted to say, one of my new favorites, Lindsay Fonseca, is going to be in 2 movies that day. One, Next Stop Christmas, which you all know was like one of my favorite movies from like a couple years ago, and her newest movie, Where Are You Christmas, is coming out on. It premieres at 8 p.m. on the Hallmark Channel. I already set that one to record. So I'll be on next weekend to talk about the rest of the weekend, to talk about the rest of the kickoff weekend for Countdown to Christmas. But I wanted to tell you guys about those 2 because if you don't have them set for record, set them for record. Where Are You Christmas? And if you don't have it, Next Stop Christmas happens to be on my DVR, which I have not deleted from the first time that I recorded it. So I will be watching both of those. If I don't see them, you know, when they play because I have company, I will be seeing them right after. Like, that's what I'm going to bed to. So I'm really excited about that. Now, let me tell you guys this. Like, normally every year, right? Lifetime usually comes out, starts their Christmas movies a little bit before or right with, or maybe even the day before. Like they usually try to come out and beat Hallmark. This year they're not doing that. I have checked the movie slate over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and I have not seen any Christmas movies coming out on Lifetime, which is truly shocking to me because they'll at least come out with the old ones, even if they don't have any premieres. So this year, Hallmark is going to be, it looks like, at least right now, Hallmark's going to be pretty much in it by themselves in terms of regular daily programming. Now, other shows, you can go see them on Netflix, you can go see Amazon Prime, whatever. But in terms of regular everyday programming, it looks like, Hallmark's going to be in it for them by themselves for a while, at least until November 3rd when Up TV kicks in. I have not seen any listings for Paramount Plus. I haven't seen any for Max. I haven't seen anything for Tubi or Roku TV yet. I haven't seen anything for Ion. Did I say that? Apple. I thought I saw one for maybe Hulu, but I couldn't find it. Paramount Plus. So as we get additional updates for the rest of the networks and streamers, I will be reporting those, but that's what I have for right now. So with that said, starting October 20th, keep an eye out for my daily 3 on Twitter and Instagram. And thank you to my show editor and music producer, Will B. He created all the custom music for this show. He's at Wildcard Music. You can find his IG page in the show notes. Until next time, remember, at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe. Leave a review for the show on your favorite platform. Subscribe and tell your Christmas movie loving friends about this show. Where can you find us? I'm so happy you asked. I am on all the podcast platforms: Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google, iHeart Radio, and many, many more. There is a link in the show notes. If you want to pick up my newest book, there is a link in the show notes. Please follow Chicks on Christmas Flicks on X, formerly known as Twitter, and IG at Chicks on Christmas Flicks with all X's. Thank you so much for listening in, and I am going to see you next week because I'm so excited to tell you more about the kickoff weekend for Countdown to Christmas.